To make the puppy hat, you start at the top and then you work in a circle to a certain point, and this is includes toddler, kids, and adult sizes. So I'm going to show you how to make the smallest size. And the colors I'm going to use for the main color, I'm going to use cotton candy, and for the darker color I'm going to use this cherry. The recommended hook is a size L, but I'll be using a K because I have a really loose gauge. So then I'm going to cut a little piece of my contrasting color, and I'm going to use that as a marker because these rounds in this pattern are not joined. So I'm going to use this in 1 minute. Now back to the pink. Okay. Now you start with a slip knot. I'm going to move this off to the side. So to get started, you start with a slip knot, and to make one you just yarn over like that, make a loop. The top strand you fold across the back through the middle of the circle. Then you pull that strand forward. Then you'll notice you have a knot side and a slip side. Well, you want to tighten the knot side like this. And then I always leave like a 4 or 5 inch end on my starting chain. Then you put that on there, and then you just slip it, so this should still be slipping like this. And then to start, you chain 5. And you join with a slip stitch to form a ring. So to do that, you go back into the first chain like this with your hook. You yarn over, bring that loop through, and then bring that through the loop on your hook, and that's joining with the slip stitch. So now it says to work 6 single crochets into the ring. So I also work over the end of my starting chain. So I'll be working into the ring and over the end of my starting chain, and I'll be working 6 single crochets into that ring. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Another advantage of working over your starting chain is that you can pull it like this and close up that hole so you don't have such a big hole there. Okay, now you're not going to join this round, but it is complete, and I take a contrasting color of yarn and I just lay it over the last stitch I worked. I lay it to this side of the last stitch that I worked. So then I'm going to go back into the 6 single crochets, and I'm going to work 2 single crochets in each single crochet around. Okay, now I should have 12, but I'm going to count and make sure. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, I went one too far. All right, so I want to stop there. Okay, so now the next round is round 3, and I'm going to single crochet in the next and 2 single crochet in the next. And I moved my marker. It was like this, so it's coming out in the front here, so I'm going to just move that to the back like that. So then I'm going to do a single in the one and then 2 singles in the next. Okay, now there's 18. And I'm going to take this now, it's in the back, and I'm going to just bring it back to the front to mark the rounds, the next round. So in the next one, I'm going to single crochet in the next 2. And then 2 in the next one. So each round I have 1 more between the increases. So in this round now I'll have 24 single crochets, and this strand is coming out, so I'm just going to fold it to the back. So I just keep going back and forth with that string. So now I'm going to single crochet in the next 3 single crochets and then do an increase. So round 3 was 1 single crochet and then an increase, and round 4 is 2 single crochets by themselves and then an increase, and now we're on 3 single crochets and then an increase. So it's just increasing by 1 in between each time. Okay, I'm almost done. It helps too if your gauge is a little bit looser. Then you can see the stitches better too. Okay, so now I have 30 single crochets. So I'm going to keep doing the same thing. Except now it says to do 4 single crochets and then an increase. So what this does is it increases 6 single crochet stitches very evenly and very symmetrically around the whole thing. So it becomes a very nice even circle. Okay, there's the 4 in between. And this, for the small size, this is as far as I need to go. But for the next size, you would go on to the next round and do 5 in between for the kids. And then for the adult size, you would go on to round 8, and that would be 6 in between. So it's done exactly the way I did this, but I'm increasing one more single crochet in between the increases. So now the hat is wide enough for a baby size or a toddler size. So now I'm going to crochet even. So all I do is I still want that marker there, and I leave the stitch marker throughout the whole project. Just in case I have to go back, which sometimes, especially when I'm designing, I need to go back quite often. But just in case, I just leave it there. So now I want to just go in each single crochet with a single crochet, and the directions just say to continue in single crochet until the hat measures 8 inches for the toddler size. So go ahead and crochet your circle for the size that you want, and for the kids sizes, you'll be going, when you get to the even round, you'll be going for 8.5 inches, and for the adult hat size, you'll be going for 9 inches. So if you're following me with the baby size, go ahead and crochet, keep crocheting even until this, when you measure it from here to here, is 8 inches. And then I'll come back on camera and I'll show you how to finish off and add this, and then we'll make the ears. I've worked on my rounds until my hat measures 8 inches long, and I left this in to show you how I carried my marker all the way through, and all I have to do when I'm done is to just pull that out just like this, and it slides right out. So that's the advantage of marking your work like that. Now I'm starting with a slip knot on my hook, and then I'm going to join with a single crochet to any stitch on this round. And to do that, I'm just going to insert my hook, yarn over, bring that through, yarn over, and draw through 2 loops on my hook. And then for the trim, I just want to work single crochet all the way around. This yarn is so soft and cuddly to work with. I love it. Especially for little kids. I think it's amazing. I think it's important to have a loose gauge with this yarn. I think it'll look nicer, your project, and it's easier to work with too. Okay, when you come back around to the beginning, you just join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. So you insert your hook here, draw a loop out, and draw that through the loop on your hook. And then I always just cut from the back right here, and then yarn over, and that locks the stitch, and I pull that through. Or you could not yarn over and just pull it through, and then just sew the that strand in. So just weave in your ends, and I always put these on a yarn needle and then weave them in. So that's how you put the trim on. And then next I'll do the ears, and then we'll that'll be it. It'll be finished. So here's where we're at compared to the blue model. So all we have left is the ears and to slip stitch around them. So to make the ears, you start out with the contrasting color, which for me is this darker pink color. You make a slip knot, you chain 6, and then you single crochet in the second chain from hook and in each of next 4 chain. So here's the second chain from hook right here, and then I'm going to single crochet across. You know, one thing that would be great is to leave a longer end in my starting chain, and then I could use this end to sew the ear to the hat. So so you chain 1 turn and you work 2 single crochets in the first single crochet. And then you single crochet to the last one, which is 3. And then you work 2 single crochets in the last one. And that completes row 2. And then you have 7 single crochets. And then you do 2 single crochets in the first one, single crochet across to the last one, and then you put, let me see, 2 in the last one, and then you have 9, and then you just single crochet across. Okay, so you're just going to single crochet across for row 4, and then it says repeat row 4 6 times more. So that would mean it's basically rows 4 through 10 now are going to be even. And one little tip might be that this is my first even row right here, and I know that this is row 4. So when I go back and try to count and make sure I've got all the way from 4 to 11, this will make it easier when I'm counting. So just go ahead and work even, and this will be row 4, and I'll come back on camera when I have it finished up to row 11. I've crocheted even for 6 more rows, and now for row 11 I'm going to chain 1 turn. I'm going to single crochet in the first single crochet. I'm going to skip the next single crochet, and then I'm going to single crochet in the next 5. And then I'm going to skip a single crochet, and then I'm going to single crochet in the last single crochet. So now I'm going to have 7 single crochets, and this is definitely decreasing by, this is decreasing by 2. And then the next row, I single crochet in the first one, skip this one, single crochet in the next 3, skip the next one, single crochet in the next one, and now I'm down to 5 single crochets on this row. And then I finish off. So to finish off, I'm just going to chain 1. I'm going to pull the back tight, and then I'm going to pull my slip knot, and then I cut all the way in the back, leaving enough room to put this on a yarn needle. So then the directions say to attach main color to the base of the ear and slip stitch around the ear. So our main color is light pink. So to attach it to the base of the ear, I make a slip knot. Put that on my hook. Tighten it up a little. And the base is right here, because this is where I finished off at row 12. So I'm going to come down here, and it says to join it into the starting chain. So to join with a slip stitch, you're going to have a loop on your hook, insert your hook, yarn over, bring that through, and then bring that through the loop on your hook like that. So what you want to do, when I come back around, I'm going to leave a long end because I can leave that to sew the ears onto the hat. So all you do is slip stitch around the whole outside of the ear like this. So you just go all the way around this ear, and then you'll end up back here, and then you slip stitch in the same chain as the first chain was worked in, and then you finish off and leave a long end, and then with that long end you just sew the ear to the hat. And you definitely want to make sure that your slip stitch edge of your ears are facing the same direction like this is. See that? So that's how you make this hat, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you for watching, and the links to everything that you saw me use in this video are listed below.